You all want to feel happy now. I can see that's letting you all. I'm making you panelists, so I can see you. I normally have my friend Amanda, who's also the engine of the College of Medicine. She's normally here doing this for me. Doing all right as we're in England anyway, easing our way out of this lockdown. I know there's a lot of people back in it in Holland and different places. Are all look amongst yourselves while I'm doing this. Anne might get a flute out and play us a little tune while we're waiting. Oh, you have got it. Go on then. Come on, let's give us a little tune. And in the meantime, while I'm doing this, if anyone's got any questions, switch your mic on and ask me. If I can answer them, I will. Anything you've been thinking about over the week or anything you want me to kind of address today while we're doing this. So if there's anything you want me to particularly work on today, just let me know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm new to sort of the idea of hypnosis. I've avoided it like the plague for many years after a really dodgy incident with a hypnotherapist about 20 years ago. So you're my first positive experience of it. I've really enjoyed it so far. I was just wondering, so we all have sort of low-level things going on at the moment, but I guess most of us have also big things as well. So is it possible within one session to, I mean, because I don't really know how it works, is it possible to address the small things as well as the big things in such a big way that it can really change how you can cope with just the day-to-day frustrations as well as massive stuff? For example, I've just had a text, my dad's dying, so I've got to get in the car as soon as this is finished and drive down and see him. So there's big and small things, and I know we've all had stuff like that happening recently, and so can this help both?
Yeah, it can. And I think because with some things, it's like a domino effect. If you knock one of them over, you know, one limiting belief or a feeling of frustration or a belief about not being able to cope with something, and then finding that you can cope with, you're dealing with one thing and you find you can cope with that, then that kind of feeds into the ability to, the belief that you can overcome other things in the same way. I think sometimes it's an overwhelm of the little things build up to the point where you just think, you can't get a grasp on any one thing. Now you've got so many things going on. What do I deal with first? What's the first thing I need to do? And the first thing I need to resolve before I resolve the big thing. And I think sometimes it's about, I honestly believe that all therapy comes down to changing a belief. People come into my office or come to meet me online with a belief that they can't do something or overcome something. It might be a habit, or it might be a drug problem, it might be grief. You know, it could be anything like that. They think it's too overwhelming and I can't overcome it. But when you, at some point, as a therapist, what I'm trying to do is find a situation where you would be able to cope with it, or you would be able to get through it. And most of us have memories of times when we have dealt with things that are that kind of enormous. But sometimes we forget. Yeah, I went through that, and yes, it was painful, but I recovered, or I survived. Whereas when sometimes we're faced with things, you know, and I know you've got some big things to face coming up, and you think, how am I going to face that? How am I going to cope with it? But then sometimes we can find other situations in our life when we have dealt with it, and we know, and that reminder that we will get through it, as painful as it is. There's some things, there are some pains we can't avoid, if you like. There are things that are natural, and grief is one of those things that, if someone says to me, you know, I'm suffering from grief, if that the situation that caused that feeling was weeks or you know, even months, I'd say there is a natural grieving process we need to get through. But I often have people who are still grieving 10 years on or 20 years on, and that's not good. You know, so not good for, it's definitely not good for them. So you can deal with it, but you can. The question you asked me, can you deal with small things and big things at the same time? I believe you can. I believe if you're working with something which you might consider a big habitual problem like cocaine, then if you were to deal with, let's say the person also had other small habits that were kind of upsetting them or destroying them, like maybe let's say nail biting or something like that. If you show someone they can deal with a habitual problem, and my belief on habitual problems is that it's just programming. When we learn something to the point where it becomes automatic, like playing the flute, and you know, when you first had to think about where you put your fingers and all of those kind of things, and now you pick up a flute and your hands just go to the notes. And it's like that with everything we learn. And some of the things allow us to function at the level we function as human beings, to that level that you're functioning as a musician, which is incredible. So you can just pick up a flute, and even without the music in front of you, you can play tunes. I know you've played songs. But where that works against is when we learn a habit, let's say the most basic one, which is smoking. And I say to my clients, when they say to me, oh, I've been smoking 30 cigarettes a day for 40 years or 30 years, I say it's an incredible feat to try and remember to do something 30 times a day, every day for 40 years. You couldn't do that consciously. At some point in their life, appeared to be a good enough reason to go through the horrible experience of smoking, to the point where it becomes an automatic function. And most of us are functioning on habits. Most of them, my belief is that everything, no matter how kind of strange it seems, like I see people pulling their eyelashes out, how could that ever been a positive reason behind doing that? Or people who do any kind of self-harm, how could that possibly be any possible? But if you're suffering emotional pain, and you can, and pulling your eyelashes out for that period of time when you're feeling that pain distracts you from the emotional pain, which you don't feel you have any control over, then people will tend to do that. At least they have control over that pain. And so for whatever reason, I believe that every problem we have, every habitual problem, starts with a positive intention. For smoking, you think, oh, what could possibly get from that? I mean, it's disgusting. But if it means that you're in with your friends and your friends accept you, that's the positive intention behind it. So, but once we learn it, like you say, like playing the flute, playing the guitar, driving, walking, reading, writing, all of these things that we as human beings, that allows us to function at that level, it's phenomenal. But where it works against, as I said, when we learn, once it becomes an automatic function, something we do without thinking, we no longer have conscious control over it. It would be like me saying, oh, you forget how to play the flute. You'd go, well, that's ridiculous. You know, it's not something I think about, it's something I can just do. It'd be like me saying, I want you to forget how to walk or talk. Well, that's ludicrous. But yet we had to learn to walk. We had to learn to speak. But once it becomes an automatic function, something we do with thinking, we no longer have conscious control over it. But what I believe hypnosis does, at a very basic level, is gives the operator, the hypnotist, the hypnotherapist, access to that underlying programming, so that the client, not the hypnotist, can change it. The old way of thinking on doing hypnosis was the old authoritarian way, where a person would come into the office and then they would hypnotize them and tell them what to do. I don't work like that, as you know, because you've seen me working for a few times now. I start with the premise that the only person in my therapy room that knows what's right for them and has the ability to make the changes is the person in the therapy chair, not my chair. If you like, what I do, and this is only my thinking on it, I act like a catalyst to get that person out of their own way. The conscious limiting part of their being, which says, I can't do this and I can't do that, I get that out of the way for a while. So the unconscious part of their being, and let's think about your unconscious. It's superpower. From the moment you draw breath as a child to the moment you have your last breath, your unconscious mind's working for you. It's taking care of your blood pressure, your heartbeat, your body temperature. It's scanning the environment for anything that might hurt you. It's doing that endlessly. When you're asleep at night and you're fast asleep, it will be your unconscious mind that will hear the creak on the stair that shouldn't be there. It'll be your unconscious mind that smells the smoke in the room if it shouldn't be there, and it'll wake you up, while your conscious mind is completely fast asleep. So it never, in my mind, it's only, I know the days of Freud, where he thought the unconscious mind was this cauldron of repressed sexuality and trauma and all that. I see it completely different. I think your unconscious mind is there purely for your protection, and it wants you to be happy and it wants you to be well. That's its goal. And given the opportunity, it will do it for you. That's why when I run my pain thing, the arrow technique, I've had doctors from all over the world and surgeons say, how does it work? They're using it and say, all right, I've made as many people panelists as 100. Apparently it's limited to 100 panelists. So I'll say hello to everybody, but some of you won't be on the screen. And if you don't want to be on the screen, just switch your camera off. So yeah, what I was saying was that your unconscious mind's a superpower, but I believe it's only ever trying to do one of two things for us. It's trying to give you pleasure, or it's trying to keep you safe. So in other words, it works for your protection and your pleasure. And it will do everything to make that happen for you, but it is ancient. If you like, your unconscious mind is pretty much the same as it was, a million years ago. If you like, when we talk about this, when a client comes to see me, and this is just my kind of simple way of looking at things. When someone says what's going on in their life and tell me the problem, my thinking is this: is this problem, is it about pleasure or is it about protection? And generally, to be honest with you, it's about protection. But that's all I have to ask. That's the only thing I have to kind of ask and consider, because I believe that the client themselves has all the resources they need and the answers to the problem, not me. So it makes my life kind of easy, if you like. All I have to do is get them into a state of mind where they have access to all of their own unconscious ability and skill. So they can ask that question. And as I said, the unconscious mind, all it's waiting for is permission to allow you that freedom. And I think that's what happens with the pain. When people are suffering from long-term chronic pain, by that I mean pain that's useless and unnecessary, that's no longer actually doing anything for them, it's as if we say, okay, in hypnosis, you can give your unconscious mind permission to switch it off, and it will do it, and it will do it in minutes, and it will keep it gone. It's an amazing thing. So in answer to your question, Anne, which you asked me a while back, was, can you deal with more one thing at a time? Can you deal with big things and small things at the same time? I absolutely believe you can. And I believe that's what happens. When one of the dominoes fall, then a lot of other beliefs fall as well. And you think about it, most of us, in fact, all of us, are functioning on software that is so old and outdated. It's a very scary thought to think that over 60-70% of the beliefs you have about yourself, what you're capable of, what you think you can do, what you can't do, that belief was created by a child under 7. Think about that. That's a pretty scary thought. You would not have a 5-year-old child making a lifelong decision about what you're capable of. And yet most of our limitations were created by a child. And it go even further than that. It wasn't even the child, it was someone else's opinion of that child, which is even worse. So it's getting off track here because we're going to talk about happiness and how to be happy now. But I'm going to give you, this is something I developed in the last kind of 6 or 7 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. It's not even a development, it's more an understanding, which I'm going to give it all to you. I wasn't going to do this but as Anne's asked me the question, can you change things big and small very rapidly? I'm going to say you can, and I'm going to give you this new technique of mine. I call it the blink and delete technique. And it's this: the next time you come up against a block, whether that's I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm not capable of that, the next time you come up against a block like this, all you have to do is this: ask yourself this question: when did I make that decision? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? And was it even my decision? You write this down. I'll tell you, this is going to change your life. Someone said to me, write a book on it, Freddie. I said, no, because it's an A4 piece of paper to describe it to you. It's not, it's knowing. It's not something you have to learn to do. So you ask the question, when did I make that decision? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? And was it my decision? And I promise you this, the moment you ask that question, your mind will immediately go to when you made the decision. You don't have to do 6 months, 3 years of regression work to find the answer. Your brain will immediately go to it. And this is the next question you ask. You look at it from where you are now, because wherever you are now, you have evolved. You are not the same person you were a week ago, and you are definitely not the same person you were 20 years ago. You have learnings, you have skills, you have strengths, you have all of these things that you have learned over these last few years. So you look at it from where you are now, in the evolved state you're in now, and then you ask the next question: is that decision, now that I've evolved, any longer viable? Or is it an obsolete decision made in a less informed state? And the chances are the answer will be it's no longer viable. It's obsolete. It was made by a child. It was made by a 13-year-old. It was made by a 20-year-old. And when you look at it again, this is what you do. When you realize it's no longer viable, I know you're going to think this is odd, you just and delete that decision. Delete it. You blink twice and delete it. And then we go to what I call neutral, which is a neutral emotion. If you haven't learned how to do it, then at some point, maybe next week, I'll teach you how to do this. It's a thing I call total perception management I developed. And it's about the ability to have complete control of your emotions. Most of the big decisions we make in our life were made in an emotional state. Most of the major decisions we make in our life are made in an emotional state. And here's the worst part of that. When we're emotional, we are not functioning optimally. We're just not. I used to coach boxing for years. And I used to say to my guys, before they step through those ropes into the ring, I'd say the worst thing that can happen in that ring is you're going to get angry. And the other guy in that ring, or the other woman in that ring, is going to make you angry. They're going to call your girlfriend names. They're going to call your mother names. They're going to say everything they can to make you angry. Because if you're angry, you are not functioning optimally. So most of the big decisions we make in our life are made in an emotional state. By being able to go to neutral, and if you haven't learned how to do it, you can contact me, and I think I've got a bit of video out there I can send to you. You go to neutral, and in neutral, you can make a new decision, but you can make it in neutral. And in neutral, you can make the right decision, you can take the right action, and you can get the right outcome. So the blink and delete, I'll go over it again. You come up against the block. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't get over this. Ask the question, when did I make that decision? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? Was it even my decision? And I promise you this, that last question, you'll realize that most of the beliefs you have about yourself were not even your decision. It was someone else's opinion. It was not even your opinion. It was someone else's opinion. You know, you're a child and your math teacher says to you, you know, you're a sporty kid, but you're not very good, never going to be very good at maths. You think, I'm a child, they're a teacher, that must be true. And we accept it. It's someone else's opinion. So ask that question. Then the moment you ask the question, I promise you, you will go to a memory. Don't question it, because it'll be exactly when you made that decision. You look at it again from where you are now and the evolved state you're in now, and you ask that question, is that decision any longer viable now that I've evolved? Now that I know what I know, now that I've had these experiences throughout my life. And if the answer is no, it's no longer viable, then blink twice and delete it. Then bring yourself to a neutral emotion and make a new decision. And your life will change. I promise you. The most of, if not all of the beliefs and things that are limiting you at the moment were just that. They're just limiting beliefs. And not even yours. And you can change your life and decide to believe something else. For me, and I'm telling you, I maybe I'm a simple soul, but for me, this is how I think now. When it comes to beliefs, any belief, I ask this one simple question. Is what I believe here empowering me or disempowering me? And if the answer comes back, this belief I hold disempowers me, I can choose to believe something else. That's for me is how simple this is. I can choose to believe something else. Most of the anxiety we suffer is worrying about something that's going to happen in the future. Most of it. And here's the thing. The future hasn't happened yet. It can only be imagined. It's not real. You can decide to imagine something else. Imagine it differently and change your life. None of this is complex when you get your head around it. Think about something you've been feeling anxious about. And why are you feeling anxious about it? Because you're picturing it happening in a certain way. But until you move a muscle, it's still your imagination. You are going to imagine something. You can't, because that's how our brain works. You'll imagine an outcome in any situation. But it happens so often that we just accept that that's what it is. That's real. It's not real. Imagine it differently. And your life will change. Over the next days, weeks, you're going to come across somebody who's going to say to you, I'm feeling really anxious. Or I'm feeling really stressed out. And you can say, what are you feeling stressed about? Well, I've got this meeting coming up, or I've got this exam coming up, or I've got whatever it might coming up. And you say, well, look, imagine it differently. You can change someone's life in a sentence by getting them to imagine it differently. Think about yourself. You're going to find this yourself, honestly. Just imagine it differently. Imagine the best outcome. You know, when I present all over the world, and I present to hundreds of people, and I step out in front of hundreds of people and tell them I'm going to hypnotize them. And I do. And in the past, I can't remember when it was, but it might have been a time in the past when, as for most of us as human beings, if we're going to present live to a lot of people, it can be kind of anxious about it. It can feel a bit anxious or afraid of doing that. And maybe I did. I can't remember when it was, but I might have done at some point. But now, most people, when they think about presenting, they'll think about everything that's going to go wrong. What if I stumble up the podium? What if I drop my papers? What if I go red? What if I forget my words? And they worry about that for weeks. If you're going to do any presentations, you can my little thought, the loop that I run in my head. This is what I run in my head when I'm going to meet you all today. Some of you I've never seen before. This is what I think. I think you're all going to be friendly. You're going to love what I've got to say. We're going to have a great time together. And that's how I approach it. That's how I step in on that stage. It's different, but the outcome hasn't changed, but how I approach it is completely different. So if you're worrying about something in the future, imagine it differently. See what happens in your body. Some of you can do that right now. Think of something you've been feeling anxious about, and then imagine it differently. And you can change someone's life just by saying that to them in passing. Imagine it differently, or stop imagining it all together. Our minds are super powerful. Some of you haven't even met me yet, but I want you to have an experience, and you are going to have an experience, all right? My attitude towards this now, if I want to help someone change their life, or if I want to influence somebody, then all I have to do is create an emotion within you. I'm going to give you all a big experience, all right? And you will have a big experience to just how powerful your mind is. I want you all to do this. Just, if you want to take part, you don't have to do it, all right? Put your arm out at shoulder height. And look at me in the camera and think about the people you love most, your friends, your family, your child, your mother, your father, your friend. But think about that person now and see their face. Feel that love now. Let it actually feel love. And as you do that, I want you to know it's the arms hanging all by itself. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. And when you realize there's nothing you can do about it, I want you to try higher. And I do not want you to pretend. Push as hard as you can. Find that hand going even higher now. Harder you try and get it down, the higher it's going to go. Push even. I'm going to click my fingers. Your arm's going to drift down. Your eyes will close for a split second. When they open, you have a totally new understanding of just how incredible you are. Get ready. Open, you're going to feel incredible. That's right. Some of your arms are still stuck there. I promise you, I'll click my fingers one more time, your arms will go down. That's it. Or maybe not.
You froze a few times there, Freddie.
Sorry?
You froze a few times there.
Okay. I'm going to click my fingers and your hands are going to drift down and you're going to feel great. That's right, Andy. You can get your arm down. That's right, Julian. You know, where's the hypnosis? Where's any of the things that you've learned about hypnosis? Where's the relaxation and sleep and deeper? Where's any of those things that you've learned about? None of it is of any importance. Hypnosis is not about a state of eyelids. It's not about relaxation. It's about triggering an emotion. And that's what happens to us all the time through our life. Someone spikes an emotion and then suggests something. And because we're in an emotional state, we just bite on it. We're going to get to the core of this in a moment. We're going to start talking about happiness and being happy now. But I want you all to have this understanding today. You don't have to live with anxiety. You can change your mind. You can say to yourself, I'm going to imagine it differently. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You know, there's over 100, close to 120 people here. Some of you might be suffering from some kind of illness. And it's kind of natural to worry about the outcome. That's totally natural. But at this point in time, it is your imagination still. You may as well imagine the best outcome and live accordingly. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, throw all caution to the wind and don't take care of yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm saying once you're taking care of yourself and you're doing the things that the medics are telling you to do, you might as well imagine the best outcome. Because either way, at this point in time, right here in this moment, it's not real. I'm going to tell you something else. Nothing's real. Which is, sounds very, very strange. Because you're looking at me on your computer or on your laptop or whatever it might be. So that's definitely real. What I mean by this is this. We think about our past. It's not exactly as it was because our memory is not 100%. Even if it was, it's the past. We can't do anything about it. I should have done, could have done, would have done, and in other circumstances, I should have done that better. We can beat ourselves up. Fact is, it's the past. And the past is a void. It's a vacuum that stretches back to the Big Bang. It does not exist. Even what I've just said, it doesn't exist. It's in that void. So if you're worrying about stuff in the past, stop it. Just stop, because it's of no consequence. And if you're worrying about the future hasn't happened yet. So that's not real. We're worrying about stuff in the future. The other day, there was a meteorite. I don't know if you saw it on the news, landed somewhere in Reading or something. And it ended up like a little bit of coal on this person's front lawn. I think smashed their windscreen. And do you remember it? It came down, a little bit of coal, and it was a piece of a meteorite. We only need one as big as a bus for us all to be eliminated. So why worry about what's going on right now? We might as well just enjoy it. I'm telling you, you might as well imagine the best outcome. Either way, it's not real at this point in time. And you can change your life. You can change other people's lives by reminding them that what they're worrying about is not real. So anyway, I've gone a bit off track here today because this is about happiness and being happy now. But this is part of it, because we can increase how we feel right now by thinking about our future in a different way. That's not preparing for the future. That's not caring. That's about living right here in this moment. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I went into a bit of a passionate kind of lecture there. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about happiness and how to be happy now. And the reason I say how to be happy now is because most of us are saying, I'll be happy when COVID's over. I'll be happy when I can get back to my normal life. I'll be happy when I lose weight. I'll be happy when I find a perfect partner. I don't know. But if you're saying I'll be happy when, what you're actually saying is I'm not happy now. So today is going to be about finding what we can be happy and joyous about right now. What we can be grateful for right now in whatever circumstances. And I know, I spoke to Anne, and I feel like I know Anne because we've spoken a few times in these groups. And I know she's got some big stuff coming up, and I know, and it might be hard to say, how can I be happy now? But maybe by focusing on the love and the joy you've had, Anne, and all the times you've shared, and thinking, I can be happy now in this moment. And it's tough, I understand. But if you're saying I'll be happy when, you're saying I'm not happy right now. I'm saying to you, find what you can find in this moment to be happy about. And we can all find it if we look. We can find what there's something to be happy about and what to be grateful for. Things that we should be grateful for. I'm 69 in a few months, and I thought, getting old. People say, well, I don't know anyone that really likes getting old, but you've got to look at it in a different way. It's a privilege. That's the other side of it. It's a privilege. It's a privilege that millions of people don't have. They don't get. They don't have that privilege of getting old. So instead of thinking, I know, because I found myself using the banister to get up the stairs the other day. I thought, what's going on here? I could normally walk up these stairs without holding onto the banister. But, it's kind of things that you're losing. But the other side of that is I've got 5 grandchildren. My oldest granddaughter's 27. My youngest granddaughter's 19. I could wish myself younger, but that would be wishing them away. We can enjoy getting older. We can enjoy, I don't know, I'm seeing a few people my age here, and we can wear what we like now. It gives 2 monkeys. When we were kids, it had to be the right kind of stuff. Now we can like, sometimes we can get up when we like. There are advantages to it, but we've got to look into that instead of looking at all the things we're losing. So that's what today's going to be about. When I hypnotize you all today, I'm going to get you to understand what you can be happy about now. Most of you are loved, and most of you have experienced love. Some of you experience having children and being loved and all those things. I have a little dog, Lucy. I didn't know I could love anything as much as I love that little dog. So it's things that we can be grateful for and be happy in this moment for. And know it's okay to fit, no matter what's going on around you. It's kind of, sometimes we think it's inappropriate to be happy when things are going on. It's not the way to act socially. If there's a massive crisis going on, how can I be happy? Crisis going on when there's hundreds of thousands of people dying all around the world from this crisis. Should I, when we speak about it, we should be looking differently. But it is, the world is going to do whatever it's going to do, and our lives are going to be whatever they're going to be. We may as well be happy doing it. That's what I'm saying. Whatever's going on, we might as well find what happiness we can find. Find whatever love we can find in this moment, even if it's with your pet or your friend or anything in the group you're with. But to allow ourselves to do it and know it's okay to feel happy. I was telling a lady the other day who was feeling depressed. I said, look, just walk up and down outside your neighbours' houses with a smile on your face, just to make them wonder why you're smiling for no reason. And she started to laugh. Yeah.
Freddie, I'm sorry. So, someone's still not unmuted. And yeah, Diana Whitley. Yeah, sorry.
All right, don't worry, Diane. I'll mute you now. All right, okay. Thanks, Doreen, for letting us know. That's what today's going to be about. It's going to be purely about allowing yourself for these few minutes. You can go back to your normal life afterwards, but for these few minutes, allow yourself to indulge yourself in thinking about the things that you've loved in your life, the things you've enjoyed in your life, the things you're enjoying right here in the moment. That is not to stop you from still trying to have, striving to have the house you want, the car you want, the body you want. That doesn't stop you from doing that. But what happens then is you can be happy while you're doing it. Instead of saying, I'll be happy when I lose this bit of weight. I'll be happy when I get, when I'm earning more money. You can find what's happy now. That doesn't stop you from still striving to do those things. But while you're striving to do it, you're coming from a place of happiness. That's all I'm asking you to do today. And I want you to, at some point, I'm going to ask you to do something physically. And you might think, even in your hypnotized state, you might think, well, I feel a bit self-conscious about doing it. I'm not going to ask you to do anything stupid, don't worry. But bear in mind, I'm going to be the only one person with my eyes open. So you can quite happily do what I'm going to ask you to do. But I want you to absolutely get into this with me today, because when we finish today, you will find that feeling of happiness, and you'll find that feeling of joy that you want, and understand you are worthy of having it. It's your right to be able to feel happy, and allow yourself to indulge yourself in it. Okay, right. So I've done a lot of talking today, but it's nice to see you. I'm just looking through the pages. I can see Ron Perry in Canada. Yeah, and see lots of people. Amanda, can see you there. Hi. Thanks for all for joining me today. It's obviously a good subject. We've got a lot of people here. My friend Richard, he's in Canada as well. See him there. Good to see you all. Anyway, and get into this with me. Look on it as total time out for you. Listen to me if you want, but I don't mean this rudely. I am not interested in your conscious mind. Your unconscious mind will hear everything I've got to say. It will take from it what is needed for you to find that happiness, and hold on to it and take it with everything you do. Just allow yourself to take it into everything you do. All right. And whatever happens next, I know my signal kind of broke down, but if for any reason the internet goes off, you will not be stuck in any kind of hypnotic trance. You will come out of it at some point in the future. I have no idea when that will be, but you will come out at some point in the future. All right, it might be 3 weeks from now, but don't worry, you'll be okay, I promise you. And wherever you are, the chair will support you. So what I'd like you all to do is this: get yourselves comfortable. That's right, get yourself comfortable. And when you're ready to go into hypnosis, when you're ready to have this incredible, wonderful experience, I want you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allow your eyes to close. Only as quickly as you're ready to experience this wonderful, deep, profound state of hypnosis. I'd like you for a moment just to focus on the tiny muscles around your eyes and allow your eyes to relax. That's right, allow your eyes to relax completely. Imagine that's happening automatically. Imagine your eyes are so relaxed, they just won't work. Just for a while. Nobody wants anything, no one expects anything. There's nothing for you to do but to relax. Imagine your eyes are so relaxed now, they just won't work, and there's nothing you can do about that. I'm going to say some words. I'd like you to repeat those words and aim those words at yourself. Say them silently to yourself, okay? I am completely calm and relaxed. I am completely calm and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. My right arm is heavy and relaxed. My right arm is heavy and relaxed. My right arm is heavy and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. My left arm is heavy and relaxed. My left arm is heavy and relaxed. My left arm is heavy and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. My right leg is heavy and relaxed. My right leg is heavy and relaxed. My right leg is heavy and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. My left leg is heavy and relaxed. My left leg is heavy and relaxed. My left leg is heavy and relaxed. My mind and body are completely calm and relaxed. Now feel yourself just drifting down, deeper, deeper, deeper down into the most profound state of relaxation and bliss. Imagine that's happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. Every word I say is going to take you even deeper into that wonderful feeling. That's right. Just when you think you've reached the ultimate space of total relaxation and bliss, my voice and my words are going to take you 10 times deeper. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. Like you've had a bliss anesthesia, just drifting down through space and time. And as you drift even deeper, my voice and my words are going to drift with you to become a part of your experience now. Every word I say just doubles that incredible feeling. And everything I say now becomes your reality. Every suggestion I give you, your mind and body will act upon. At a molecular, cellular, neurological level is now your reality. Because you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, can continue to hear, to understand and respond to those things I might say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take to tell the exact position of arms, legs, or the entire body now that seems to drift through time and space. That wonderful free-floating place of effortless relaxation and letting go. Allowing events to occur in their own time, in their own way, as you drift as a mind. And that mind drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. Just for a moment, think of something you'd love to do, a way you'd love to feel, something you'd love to achieve. And let go of any limiting beliefs, any negative thoughts, and see yourself doing that. Notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Go step into that feeling, feel what it feels like. Ask the question, how much fun is it to have achieved that? I'd like your unconscious mind to make those changes now, while the conscious mind drifts off someplace else entirely now. That's right, in your own time, in your own way. Aware of events that occur along the way, as the unconscious mind utilizes that opportunity to alter your awareness and to continue that learning in whatever way is the right way for you. Learning that feeling of letting go, allowing the unconscious to assume more and more responsibility for guiding or directing awareness as you continue to learn even more than before about your abilities, your capacities to learn as you relax. As you relax and enter into the trance more and more comfortably, more and more effortlessly, more and more completely and deeply than before. And I can wonder whether you're aware that you've drifted deeply into hypnosis. Because the deeper you go, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you'll go. Imagine it's happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. And as you drift into that space, you can use your unconscious mind as a resource, a strength that you can tap into and utilize. All that's needed to build a good rapport with the unconscious is to have a line of communication. Sometimes the unconscious communicates by movement. It may be that the eye reflex changes and the eyes flicker. That's right, or the head moves slightly. or a muscle twitches involuntarily. It may be that the left hand moves all by itself and starts to feel lighter and lighter and starts to drift up or lift up, or the right arm goes even higher. Only the unconscious mind knows which it will use. And so I'd like your unconscious mind, search through all the things in your life and find something that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, something that you can focus on right here in the moment. A feeling, a thought, a sound, a piece of music, a color, a picture, something that you can find right now that will bring joy in this moment. Maybe the face of someone you love, or someone you've loved, or someone that's loved you. Maybe a moment in time when you just how love were. But a moment of joy right now. And as you feel that right now, feel that feeling spreading through your body and your mind. I want you to have the experience, a wonderful experience. You know, and when we're babies, we don't know other than love and kindness and security. To be held. All we want to do is to be held and to be fed and to be loved. And all of you have had that experience at some point as a baby. And the chair you're sitting in is a time machine. You are going to go back through to time doesn't exist. You're going to go back. So I don't know, 6 months old, 3 months old, 9 months old, a time when you were just absolute, and all you knew was love, all you knew was kindness. You are whizzing back through time, and you are back there now, baby, once again, and feel that feeling of security and love and kindness and joy. Let that flood your body and your mind, just to be held, just to be loved, to feel secure. Feel it now. The essence of who you are, the pure intelligence that you were born with, and feel it now. That you are love. You are loved. You are loving. You are a whole being. You do not need to be anything more. You are love, and you are loved, and you are loving. Let that feeling of love flood your body and your mind. Feel that feeling of joy. And as you feel that now, I want you to think of a moment in your life, a time in your life when you felt absolute gratitude. I want you to think of that moment now. I want you with your right hand or your either hand to reach up. As if you're reaching up to the sky, you can do this now. Reach up as you feel that feeling of gratitude. You can do this. Your arm can lift. You can reach up. Just reach up as high as you can, feel into that feeling of gratitude, feel into it. And when you absolutely feel it, I want you to grasp it with that hand, and I want you to pull that hand onto your heart and push that gratitude into your heart now. Feel it in your heart, pull it into your heart, and put your other hand over that hand. Do it now. Put the other hand over that hand and feel your heart expanding with that gratitude now. Feel it filling you up. That's right. And feel that wonderful feeling. And now I want you to think of a moment of laughter. A moment when you just laughed, and you could just laugh without any full abandon. Just a belly laugh. Just that feeling of laughter. And think about that time now. And feel into, once again, reach up with that hand and grasp that feeling of laughter and pull it into your heart. Do it now. Put the other hand and feel that feeling of laughter and gratitude filling your heart and your body, flooding your body now. Feel that in gratitude and laughter. Feel it. A time when you just laughed just for the hell of laughing, when you've got that gratitude, and let that fill you up. And now I want you to think of a moment of love, a moment when you absolutely felt loved, when you loved or you felt love, and feel into that moment. Do it now and reach up with that hand once again. And when you absolutely feel that feeling of love, of being loved, of loving, I want you to grasp it with that hand, and I want you to pull it into your heart, and I want you to put that other hand over that hand and feel that feeling of love, laughter and gratitude filling your heart. Feel your heart expanding. And know it's okay to feel this good. It is your birthright to feel this joy. It's your birthright to feel happy, and feel it now. Just think about the people you love who love you. Let that remind you of your real worth, your real value, and feel it flooding your body and your mind. And that feeling is going to stay with you, and you're going to take it into everything you do, because you are love. You are loved. You are loving. You are the most incredible creation in the known universe. There is no one else like you. You are unique. You are love. You are loved. You are loving. Feel it. Feel it flooding your body and your mind. You are unique. In the history of the universe, there has never been another you. There will never be another you. You are love, and you are loved, and you are loving. And feel that feeling flooding your body and your mind. I'd like your unconscious mind to allow you that feeling now, and to know it's okay to feel that good. And from today, you will find the happiness in the moment, this moment right now. You'll understand that you can go back to that feeling of gratitude and love and kindness and laughter anytime you want. No matter what's going on around you, you can feel into this feeling and feel happy now. That's right. Every negative, limiting belief gone from your mind and your body. You have always been this loving person. You have always been love. You've always been loved. You've always been loving. No matter what's going on around you, you're going to hold this feeling of happiness in your heart. And you're going to take it into everything you do. Because this has a healing ability. I'm going to go silent for a moment while you just feel into this feeling, and I want you to indulge yourself in it. Most of you here are carers or mothers or nurses or doctors. I want you for a moment just to think about the people you've helped with your words, with your love, with your kindness. And allow yourself to think about those people for a moment. People whose lives are different, better because of you, because of meeting you, because of something you've said or something you've done. Allow yourself to think about that right now. You are love, and you are loving. From today, you will take care of yourself. You will be kind to yourself because you are worth it. Go over with your unconscious need to know that you can hang on, hold on to this feeling and take it into everything you do. Love and joy, happiness, gratitude, and laughter you're feeling now. That feeling of love you're feeling in your heart, in your body, cannot coexist in your body with stress and anxiety. It cannot. Those two things cannot exist in your body. Holding this feeling in your heart, notice every ounce of anxiety in your body and your mind. Every ounce of stress has gone from your body and your mind. You cannot feel it, you cannot experience it, because those two feelings cannot exist in your body at the same time. And from today, whenever you want to, feel the way you feel now. Take the time out for you. Feel into that feeling of gratitude and laughter and love. Pull it into your heart. Hold it. Because stress and anxiety cannot coexist in your body, in your mind, with that feeling of joy and love. You're already a whole being. You are the most incredible creation in the known. There is no one like you. You are incredible. Go with your unconscious to know that you are love. And feel it now. Only when the unconscious mind knows, has made those changes at a molecular, cellular, neurological level that will allow you this feeling of peace, this feeling of kindness and love, calm, and allows the conscious mind to accept the changes made. Because in a moment, I will count to 10. Every suggestion I've given you, and you've been giving yourself over these last few moments, is now your reality. On 8, your eyes will open. You will feel incredible, like you've had a ton weight lifted, like you've had the blink, see things differently. You'll experience life differently. And on 10, that feeling of love and gratitude and joy is going to grow stronger. A new understanding that all the time you're holding that in your heart, cannot experience anxiety and stress. Those two things cannot exist in your body and your mind at the same time. So get ready. As I count to 10, on 8, your eyes will open. You'll feel incredible. Every ounce of stress you may have been feeling, anxiety you've been feeling, has gone from your body and your mind. Replaced by a new understanding. You are love, and you are loved, and you are loving. And on 10, that understanding is going to grow stronger day by day. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful now. 2, to achieve that wonderful feeling of happiness now. 3, a feeling of freedom from every limiting belief that ever held you back. They were never real in this. 4, feel a force of that love and that joy and that gratitude flooding your body and your mind. 5, feeling incredibly alive now. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, feeling absolutely incredible. 9, 10. Right. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. It's Friday, the weekend's here. Take this feeling of love, happiness, and joy into everything you do. And know it's okay to feel that good. All right. And thanks for joining me today. I hope you've all enjoyed it. You're all brilliant. And, you know, I wish you all the best. Oh, and on the 1st, we've got a thing with the College of Medicine, the Thursday lecture with Dr. Mark and Dr. Naveed. They're both kind of members or founding members of the college and the Integrated Health. Join us. It's about sleep. So not that you'll need it now because you've got love and kindness in your heart. But if you know anybody that's you can join if you're not a member of the college already, you can join. And if you use my special code 007, no, that's not it. Sorry, that's James Bond. No, my code is Freddie Jacquin 2021. You can get a year free subscription. Tell them I sent you, and you can join, and then you can join that group. First Thursday of every month. It's the Thursday warrior lecture. It's to do with hypnosis. This week's about sleep, and I think you'll like it. Okay, so if you want to know anything more about me, you can go to my website. It's freddiejacquin.com. If you want to do some training with me, you can go to jacquinhypnosisacademy.com. And if you want to train me, and I've got books out there as well. And I just have to tell you, my audio book, Hypnotherapy, has just passed 8,000 downloads for audio books sold. I'm really pleased with that. I thought I might sell a couple of hundred, and I've sold 8,000. So it's out there for you. Look, it's been great. Hold this feeling of love in your heart. Know that you are worthy of it and you're worth looking after. And be as kind to yourself as you are to all those other people you've been helping. Just treat yourself with the same kindness. That's all I ask of you. And be happy now. Thanks for being here, Doreen, and making sure that everyone's in order. All right. Okay. And thanks. Nice to see you, Mark. Good to see all of you. And I'll say goodbye to you. Have a lovely take care. All right?
Thank you, Freddie.
Bye
Great
now.
session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
you.
Freddie.
Bye. Thanks very much. Bye.
Thanks, Freddie.
Good night.
Thanks, Freddie.
Enjoy the weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Good to see you, Alan, here.
Bye.
Harold, yeah, good to see you.
Thank you. Pleasure.